Hey, we're live. I'm behind the camera right now. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put this together here. Oh, oh goodness. Sorry for the shakiness. All right. Trying to get going here. Give me. Hey, hey. Hello, hello, hello. Let me get a place for the laptop. I'm gonna try to monitor best I can for today. Right over here. All right. It's Tuesday, July 15th. Let me get logged in here, make sure the camera is looking good. I feel like maybe I'm not in there. Let me check the sound. One second. Okay. Check the sound. 1 second. Check the sound. All right. We're working. All right. So I'm going to do my best to monitor the chat from here. All right. And so I'm going to do my best to monitor the chat. If you're just hopping on, feel free to say hi. I'm David with the Plant Bar, and today is it's go time. Last time when we were together, last Tuesday, we were separating out air plants. We got all these cool little babies. They're going to be ready to be dunked. Got a decent amount of them over here, and we did some air plant. Separated air plants, got the babies off, we watered some, and went through a lot of air plant information. Today is another day that we're prepping for this market that's coming up. Hi, Renee. Hello. The market is August. I had I had printed up a script, but I couldn't get it to print, and I needed to come out here. So I'll do my best here. So we have a market on August. I think it's a Saturday. I think it's August 23rd. My phone is being used here. Let me see what that day is. Let me verify real quick. Month. I need to have this in my head. We are a little behind. And yeah, so it's August 23rd. We're getting prepped. So today's live is going to be in getting some plants either sized up or ready for this pop-up market. It's Mililani Home Show, August 23rd. And we had another one in Mililani in the spring, and we did really, really good. So I want to make sure that I've got all the plants ready for this. So today we're going to start with this Cebu Blue. This is a Cebu Blue. Holy cow. Say that 10 times fast. Cebu Blue Pothos is our mother plant here that's been growing for quite some time, and I haven't really made a lot of cuttings from it. So I'm going to be making some cuttings and propping these from here into some hanging baskets. And let's see, I've got, so August 23rd, so I've got about 5 weeks to get these guys rooted and hopefully leafing out. I think I can do it. I have some others that we're going to be sizing up too. So I'll probably start with those. So Cebu Blue Pothos, if you haven't ever seen them, this is what the leaves look like when they're trailing. It's this nice blue color. You can also, which I guess here's a question for you. Do you prefer trailing or plants that are upright growing with larger leaves. And I'll check over in the comments here. Oh, air plants grow without soil. Yes, they do not need soil. Follow-up question from Blue Butterflies. Can they survive the cold winters of Colorado? Uh, yes, but not outside. So feel free to watch back some of our other videos, but quick answer for air plants in a cold climate. Once it usually gets below like 50 degrees for most air plants, you're going to want to bring them inside. But you can grow them inside, and you just need to have indirect light or a grow light that they're under. They can't be in a dark room for a long period of time. They do need light. So the answer is yes. And so, okay, so if you live, so it doesn't matter, I guess, where you live, as long as the place you're living doesn't get below 50 inside, which I don't think it would. Then that would be okay for the plants to survive. If you have a window that's on like the west side of your home, you could have them in there away from the window or near the window, and that would probably be enough light. If you are able to, I would definitely recommend getting a grow light. You can get them pretty cheap on Amazon. Could be even one of these real easy clip-on ones just for this little area, and then that way you can get a grow light on the air plants when you don't have enough light. Usually you want to go like 12 hours or so on every day. So sweet, lots of questions. Water, if you have time, look through some of our other videos. We have very detailed uh, videos for air plants on how to water them. But you're going to want to dunk them in water, and it's going to depend on where you have them. But you put them in a bowl of water for about 20 to 30 minutes, generally, once a week. Yeah, if you want to just so blue butterflies, if you're seriously interested in air plants, watch back some of our, we have several different lives. Last week's live was all about air plants. We have a couple others lives and then different videos that'll help you to know all the things about air plants. Thanks for all the questions. And Renee, thanks for helping. Oh shucks. Okay, so we've got Cebu Blue Pothos that we're going to be making cuttings from all of this, and I do have some down here that I need to check on. So I'm going to move this out of the way. 1 second. Ah. All right. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. We got some work to do here. So the reason these look this way is I rooted these in a tub. I'll pull the tub up in a minute. Get these out of here. All right. So started in just a plastic tub. Left the lid on to create humidity, to keep it humid, and I left that on there um, until they were rooted and started leafing out. Once they started getting some new leaves, I then took the top and propped it open, and then every week just pulled it back until it was all the way off, and then now these guys are ready to be out in the open. But I do have a problem with these in that I didn't do a good job of keeping the bugs away, and so these have a good amount of mealy bugs on them, and that's what all these yellow dots are. So I am going to have to fix these so that they can be ready by then, because I can't sell them with these leaves like this. All right, 1, 2, 3. My goodness. All right. Yeah, this one's bigger and it's got all this going on. All right, rooted through the bottom. Yeah, all of these got a good amount of mealy bugs. on them. So I'm gonna treat them just organically for now, and then see if I can keep them away. I don't know if you can see. Let me see. Try to get close here. I'll do my best. I don't have my partner to help me like move things around. I don't know if you can see the little millie bugs on the bottom there. Yeah, they're definitely affecting these. So treating these. So natural way to treat millie bugs just be with rubbing alcohol. You could use like soap, Castile soap, or neem oil. Even you can spray them. All of those will have to be repeated probably. So I'm gonna have to do this and then check back again in like a week, and then continue checking back. But the other thing I could do is I'm gonna treat a few, and then I'm gonna fix the rest in a different way. So let me find my rubbing alcohol. Where is that at? Holy smokes. Okay, it's not here. Everything is going to plan today. It's all good. I don't have the rubbing alcohol back here. Okay, so what I'll do is I've got Leaf and Tonic, which is a neem and insecticidal soap derivative. So I'll use that on one, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the others. So this one here, all you would do, just they're always on the underside. Just spray till it runs off on the underside, then let it sit. I'm gonna do that for all these here. What's going on here? All right. So you also want to get the stems too. It's probably hard to see, but there's little white splotches on the stems, and then all the way down. So there's even some down in the crotches here where the leaf is emerging out of there. So that's one way to do it. Now, there we go. The other thing with these, so if I had my rubbing alcohol, you just put it on a Q-tip and you just wipe them away. But the other thing I want to mention is, well, this guy's moving. He's mocking me right here, this one. This one's just mocking me. Just cruising around. So the thing you do is just manually take them off. But what I was gonna say is, so all of these, because I'm wanting to, these need to be being sold. So all these leaves, no good anyways. So what I'm going to do is, uh, and if you have questions, let me know. I'll try to pause and every once in a while I'll try to pause and pull over to the comments. Usually we'll have somebody like waving their hand back over here behind, well, over there behind you. But what I want to do is I'm going to remove all these leaves from all these. So even the emerging ones. I'm going to remove all the leaves, and then whenever you've got something infested, you really don't want to keep it around with the other plants. So I'm going to toss it in the trash over here, and then that's going to go out so that we can get some of these mealybugs away. So I'll show you what I'm going to do next. So I know it looks like I'm butchering these plants right now. The one thing I will say is that, okay, so I'm cutting these leaves off. This is the new leaf that's just emerging. It's got, I'm going to leave it on there. But this other one, this is the one that is now emerging. So the next growth would come right after this grows out, then it's inside here. So if I cut that off, I've now cut the point of where this is going to grow from. So I'm going to try to keep this one, but I'm going to cut this one off. And I'll show you what I'm going to do next in just a minute. So all these, the leaves are damaged. Should have paid better attention. I'm sure you guys know how that goes though, right? Get super busy and forget. I'm going to leave that one. So by doing that on these 4, we're going to leave that one there. By removing that on these 4, it has now allowed us to get rid of most of the mealybugs. The only ones that are left are uh, the only ones left would be on these stems here. I'm going to look through and I'm going to try to catch them with my hand and I'm going to get rid of them. And let's see here. So now they look like this, right? Not super fancy, nothing great. We do have mealybugs up the stem. So what I'm going to do is just use my hands and I'm going to feel it. It's sticky. Just going to kind of rub and try to get rid of these guys. And now I'm going to monitor them for the future. I can also treat the stems once I've got them cleaned up, and that should help. I'll just use the leaf and tonic. Okay, let me get this one. So I'm manually removing these guys. So if you've got bugs, you can do it this way too. You just go through and manually, we got some here, and I'm just squeezing them, and then they're going away. So the problem with this is we're not going to be able to catch them all with our fingers, and there's going to be small ones that we can't see. Okay, I unfurled this leaf, and there was a whole bunch in here. So generally on the fresh, tender growth, the insects are really going to like that, and they're going to get in there and try to just suck all the juice out of there. All right, so I've done an okay job of doing that. So totally organic, because I just use my hands for now. I will use the spray after I'm done, still organic. I'm going to keep these in these 4-inch pots for now. Yeah, I'm just going to freshen up with new soil. So what I wanted to show you was we've got these aerial roots. Like this one's got a couple aerial roots. And all we're going to do, because what I want to do is encourage this thing to leaf out in some more areas. And it probably only take like a month, and we should be ready. So what I want to do is I'm just going to take this and wrap it around inside the pot like this. And then what you could do is some people will put like a bobby pin or some other little clip to hold them down. I'm just going to put some loose soil, so it's going to be soil with a lot of perlite in there. And I'm also going to just get rid of these super happy roots. It's probably not going to be super happy anymore for a little bit till I get some new roots. But let me do that, clean these all up. All right, so just wrap around that. Let me get my soil to make this work here. 1 second. Got a big bucket of soil here. This is our base mix with perlite and cocoa coir. So it's a little airy. So I'm going to use this to cover the tops. So it's nice and loose. You can see there. And then that's going to be the medium that will get this stuff to root in. All right, so I'm just going to cover that up like that. And then as this goes along, pinch this down. And as this goes along, I'm going to monitor these a little more closely. These were kind of in the back 40. being left to their own devices, and hopefully get these guys, let me get that root in there, get these guys to not have any mealybugs on the new leaves. So I'll just be treating them once a week, and then they should be ready. All right, there's one. So some of these, I don't know if you can really see it, but they're the potting soil is pretty, it's a little crunchy, so I'm kind of putting my finger in there and loosening up the top. It was becoming a little bit hydrophobic, so I'll do my best to wrap this one in. I wish I had something to nail this down. I think I do. So when you're propagating these plants, a lot of times you can use something that's a little less on the soil side. So a lot of these will be a little heavier on the peat moss side, so that it's more of a sterile mix and not soil that we're trying to root these guys up in. All right, we make some pins, make this a little easier. Hey Jen, thanks for watching. If you're just logging in, we're getting ready for our upcoming pop-up. It's August 23rd, so I'm trying to get more plants ready. And yeah, today is Cebu Blue Pothos. That's what we're working on. And I'm just making, I have a bunch of this wire that we use for like succulents when we're doing wreaths and things like that. And I'm just using this. Actually, I should have just been like, oh, let me just use this. I'm going to use this to pin this down. And it's working really well. Pin this so we can get the roots going in there. So it's just this like floral, I think it's like floral ties, I think. Oh, we got a spy. Who's the spy? Don't tell us your real name. A plant spy, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully I can help you out. If you're spying on anything else, I'm not going to be able to help you out. All right, so this one, barely in there. So should root. We should be getting some things going there. I know it doesn't look as good as it did, but we're going to have to go backwards before we go forwards with these guys because I left them, we left them out. So this one here, I think I'm going to do a zigzag on this one. So it's already naturally doing that. I'm just going to pull it here, pin, and then get more. This stuff works good. So no need to buy like fancy plant stakes. I don't really know how much this stuff was though. I think I got a whole bunch for a couple bucks of this, and then you can just cut it whichever way you want it, and it's working out just fine. All right, one more. So back to the question, we're talking pothos here, and the question is, do you like your plants trailing, or would you like them upright where they'll fenestrate and get the lines in the leaves? Which way would you prefer to have them? These currently obviously all hanging. Okay, last one here. Okay, we got one vote for trailing. We'll let those come in while you're thinking. I'm just gonna loosen this up, take that out. Some older soil. Quick little scoop. Fill this guy up. All right, so I've got these 4. Only had 4 from that. That we'll hopefully have ready by then. Let me move these over. And so next step would just be to water until the water comes out the bottom. And then for these, going to be about once a week that I continue to water these, and then I'll see some growth and continue that until they're ready to go to the market. This little planty went to the market. Oh shoot. Okay, so I got those done. All right, so next things we're going to do, we're going to make some baskets out of the others. And I'm also not, I'm going to spray this again. I'm not super keen on putting this with the rest. So we got, yeah, everybody's wanting the trailing, and that's kind of what I gravitate to as well. But I do know that people want, they want to like have them on a moss pole. So I'll try to go that route in the near future. All right, so I'm gonna do that. Leaving this one. I don't even like it being up here. This one was pretty infested. It's gonna be here for now. Okay, oh shucks. Sorry guys for a pause. I'm doing what I can. All right, Renee Painter. That's why I train them around my office. We've got like this going on everywhere. I like trailing, good. Okay, so how do we make baskets out of all of this madness? All right, so what I want to do is find the ends, and then what I want to do is I'm going to make my cuttings. And so this plant's got ton of leaves, ton of plant on it, and I'm going to pull most of it off. I'm going to create some 6-inch baskets that we will, once they get rooted, we'll convert them into, we'll just throw some hangers on there. And then should hopefully have them ready. It's going to be a close one for August 23rd. But all right, so this is going to be a tip cutting. So what I'll do is, because I want these to root with a couple and then have the tip out. So we're going to want to have 1 node, 2 nodes, and then cut in the middle. So at an angle, and you should use sharp, sanitized pruners when doing this. And the other thing is we need to remember which one is where's the bottom. So usually what I'll do is I'll do that, make the cut, and then I'll put them all the same way. And if I really had my act together, I thought I had it out here, I would have a little Sharpie, and I would Sharpie the bottom, because this begins to be difficult. So bottom, and just do, so here's a good tip cutting. Tip. So I'm going to put the tip over here. Here. So I got 1, 2, and then, right, I'm just going to keep doing this as I go down, do midpoints. And what this is going to do is allow me, oh, did I do that upside down? Oh, shoot. This is like this. Okay. This is going to allow me to make some baskets. All right. So in a regular video, we would fast forward this, but we don't have fast forward. So anybody have plans while I'm doing this? We'll just talk story. Anybody have any plans left for the summer? Anybody doing anything? What are you doing? I know summer is coming to an end, and we're, oh man, this one's missing a midpoint. We're running low on that. Yeah, I need my black marker. So I guess my biggest obstacle is I'm trying to talk while I'm doing this. So you guys, if you're doing this at home, you won't have to, because unless you're talking to somebody while you're doing it, you can just do your thing, and you don't have to keep conversation going with anybody, but I'm doing my best here to keep keep this thing going here. All right. I guess for these, it probably wouldn't be the end of the world if I screwed it up. Okay, I'm trying to get rid of a lot of these here. All right, this one's nice. This is a beefcake right here. This one's nice. You see this? Look at this craziness. Who's doing the swirly thing here? All right. So when you get things like this, I usually just cut it in the middle, and then that becomes the part I put in. And then, oh, this one's rough. I'm gonna make that disappear. Do that. All right, so we're gonna fast forward this. Boom. Was that fast? It didn't feel fast. We got another tip cutting here. Tip cutting. Do this. Do this real quick. No, oh, lots of mountain bike practicing. So uh, that's awesome. Uh, my previous life was all bikes, as most of you probably know. And I actually found at Cocoa Head. So Cocoa Head is if you don't know what it is, it's like it's a hike, but it's technically like it's 1,100 stairs. 1,100 stairs that go like straight. It goes really steep. It takes about anywhere if you're like super fit, you're getting up there in like 20 minutes, up to not 20 minutes. And we did that. Me and Kira did that this last weekend. We did it Saturday morning, and Kira was. It was a little bit of a burner for her, but she was able to get up to the top fairly easily. And then she's doing like one-legged lunges at the top, and everybody else is just like giving a big sigh, like, thanks for rubbing it in. But we did. The reason I brought it up is there's there's a bike park there. I mean, it's jumps, so it'd be like it's like dirt jumps. I don't know what you call that, but I was super excited, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to go jump. Have to. I'm older now. I'm gonna be much more cautious, and maybe not even. No, I'm gonna do that. There's an expert line, an intermediate line, and I think there's just some rollers. I guess that would be considered like the novice line. And I'm definitely looking forward to going and doing that. This one doesn't have a lot of looking through, and it's got these ribs where the nodes would come out, but they're not super happy. But we're gonna do it anyways. We're gonna run with it. So I'm gonna make a whole bunch of cuttings here. I've been waiting. Oh, I did that one too much. Been waiting to do this for a while. And you could also just do single cuts and then push this in. But what I'm trying to do is I want it to already have some length coming out the pot when it leaves out. So I'm going to keep it this way, and that's just how we're going to roll it. Okay, what do I got left here? Let me do a check here and see if I took enough off of the top here to make a difference in this thing. All right, so we still got some stragglies. I'm going to try to. So that one's good. I'll show you what I'm going to do next here once I get these all cleaned up, and then we'll start potting up some things, and that'll take up the rest of the time. We can talk story about bikes and whatever. Okay, this one. Okay, so we still need a little more. Thank you for the compliment. We do similar. We've been doing similar things like this for a while, and it's generally try to just share some knowledge. And I got some things to do anyways, so I just do it with you guys. Oh shoot. Should have had that black marker. Okay, yeah, so Coco Head, we're gonna ride our bikes. I got a buddy, we're gonna go together. He doesn't know it yet, but we're doing it. Um I sent him a picture, so uh I guess the only thing he said was like, "Hey, I'm no expert." And I said, it's all right. We're gonna do the small line. It's good. So I'm excited. That'll be fun. I still have a BMX bike. The BMX bike, the track that was here, it closed like right during COVID, and it never opened again. And I've never been there. Never got the chance. Um, what else? What else was somebody else doing? Sorry, let me go back through here. What happened here? Going to visit my sister. Oh, Renee, you're off. Watching the granddaughter. That's fun. And then you're going to be visiting your which sister? Where? What area? Where are you going? I'm sure it's somewhere cooler because Yuma is hot, 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 hot. It's actually warmer today, so I'm gonna trim this up too. It was like humid and warmer. I don't know. Here. So if you don't know, we are on the island of Oahu in Hawaii. And so that has its pros and cons for plants. Pros, easy to grow stuff. Cons, because the plants like to grow here, so do all the bugs. So we have constant bug problems, never ending bug problems. And so we try to be not trying to blast everything with insecticide all the time. So we've come up with some different ways to work through it and some different sprays that we've created. So Prescott next week. Yeah, I would say if I was there, I would be trying to get out of there. So what I'm doing right now, I didn't explain what I'm doing, but trying to I'm cleaning this up while I'm here, and I am pulling off. There's some dead limbs in here, so I'm taking these out, and then I'm going to pin and do the same thing I did with those smaller ones. I'm going to clean this up and then pin back and add some soil for these longer ones that are well, they're not as stringy as they were before. And I'm gonna let this grow back in. We're gonna pinch this in like that, and then this will be the new guy that's over it. Got like there's a bunch of clutter in here. I don't like clutter. You wouldn't believe it if you saw back here, but that's the truth. Maybe one day I'll be better about it with my plant stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna try to pin this in here. We get more of that. So this is floral pin. Is that what I said before? Floral pin. Pretty sure that's the name of it. And what you shouldn't do is use the same cutters that you use for your plants for metal. But I'm doing my best here. All right, so there's that one. And then I'm just going to do the same thing with a few others. It's a decent amount in here. I'm just going to take this one, run it through here in the middle. Oh, there's a guy here that's not super great. Cut this off and I'm going to root it. Clean that one up. And then that way, this can come in here like this. So there's some space. You can't really, it's hard to show, but there is some space in the top here where this plant got really heavy, and so there's no like rooted plants in there. So this one Oh, smokes. I'm gonna put this one because right now I got one here, one here. Just trying to balance it out. I don't know if I should spend this much time doing this. So I can show you guys potting up some of these. So I think what I'm going to do is finish here and then I'll put this out of the way and we'll start potting. I don't like the way the rest of this looks though. So we got a whole bunch of extra here still. And there's a space. No, okay. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this quick and then I'm going to regret this decision later. All right, so now I've got this one cut up. So I'm going to set it aside and it's going to have time to regrow. Ah. Okay, so I'm going to leave these aside. I might put these in water or do something else with them later. So this is a pothos, Cebu Blue. You can do propagation by water. You can do propagation by soil. And I guess that's it. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, question from Jen. How often should you fertilize pothos? So when you're starting to grow them like I am right now, no fertilizer as you're trying to get them started. Once they start to leaf out, means they've got some roots in the ground. Then you can start fertilizing. So what I recommend doing is using an extended release fertilizer. The one I really recommend is an Osmocote Plus. So it's got micronutrients. It will feed for about, I think it's 9 months, but usually I'll do it twice a year. It's just granular. This stuff here. Let's see. It's what we use all the time. I'm making a mess. Oh, the cup. All right. So it looks like you've probably seen this, a version of this in your. Let's see if that pulls up. The lighting's horrible. Here. You've probably seen something that looks like this in your pots, but maybe it wasn't exactly this. The granular stuff, right? It breaks down over time, especially this Osmocote. It's got feeding up to 9 months. It's got a good balance. So you put this in there, right? So this would be like twice a year. Use something like this. We sell it on our website, or you could buy it online. And then what I also would recommend doing if you're trying to push growth is you would fertilize during the active growing time, which is depending on where you're at, it's going to be like spring, summer, and do a diluted. So if you already have this, then you can use another type of fertilizer that's diluted. So you can do like a half dilution, and then maybe if it's inside, you do that like every other watering, and then do that for a month, and then take a break, and then do it again. If you use like Miracle Grow, maybe do it. Just make sure you give some breaks in between because there's high salt content in Miracle Grow, and it builds up in the soil. The plants don't super love it. So if you're cool with organic, that's the way I would go. Except for Osmocote, this stuff, it will make a huge difference with your plants. I hope that answers your question. It's probably a lot of information. So real quickly, the quick answer: how often should you fertilize pothos? They do respond well to fertilizer, and I would put something that's extended release so it lasts over time. And then the other frequency would be maybe once a month or every other month during the active growing season at a diluted rate. You could also, just to add more, let's throw it all out there. You could also foliar feed your plants, and that's like it'll be a heavily diluted. Depending on what you're using, you can dilute it, and then they'll do well. They'll respond well to that too. One that we use be like leaf and tonic, and it's a wellness spray, but it also has fertilizer in it, and so the plant will pull those nutrients in. So those are the options. You could also not fertilize the pothos, and it's still probably be okay. It's a pretty resilient plant, but you're going to get a lot more growth. I don't know where the lid went to this. That's a problem. You're going to get a lot more growth by fertilizing. So I would recommend doing that if you want that. Now my fertilizer bucket that I have back here lost its lid. Shoot. Okay, we're going to get to the cuttings and I'll come back to that. Let me clean this up real quick. You're welcome. All right. I'm going to just take this and this fertilizer and I'm going to give it to this. We got a pothos right here. This is a golden pothos. I'll just put that in there. Okay, so we got cuttings. I've done my best to put them all the same length, and I'll probably go for maybe another 15 minutes. I'll just bring you along with some, and then I'll just do the rest offline, unless some people are still on here. Then I'll just keep the camera running and we'll run for a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to make these trailing. Well, there might be some that are not eventually trailing, but I'm going to make these all 2-trail to begin with, and we'll see how things go. So trailing, we're going to do 6-inch pots. And so let me grab, oh, I thought I had a whole bunch here. Oh, yeah, I do. So what I'm going to do is just use these 6-inch pots, and then with time, once they start growing, I'm just going to put 3 holes in the sides and have a metal cage that goes up. All right, 6-inch pot, 6-inch pot. And I thought I had a whole bunch more than I have, but I guess I don't. So we're going to do 5 cuttings per. And so let me get a couple of these. This one's no good. Just start with a few of these. It's super easy once you've made the cuttings. Might be harder to take the pots out of each other than not. All right, so for propagation, because we just made these cuttings. So with pothos, you don't want to let them dry out. There's no callousing. Also, it's soft, so technically don't need rooting hormone for these types of plants. And like I said, we can do it in water, we can do it in soil. These ones are going to go in the soil. So we're just going to put the cuttings directly in the soil. I said 5, but maybe it'll be 5 to 6 per. And let me get my soil. So the soil you want to use, you don't want it to dry out super quick, but you also don't want it to have a lot of like compost in it to where it's like too wet to rot out I guess we're just going to roll with this. Rot out the cuttings that we have in there. One trick you could do is, I don't know if I have water here. All right, so let me just fill these up real quick. Sorry, I gotta go. I'm gonna be down here to do this, and I'll bring them back up because this bucket of dirt is down here. And all right, just look at the plants while I'm down here. One thing you can do is to wet the soil before you put the cuttings in. This soil's pretty wet already because the lid was off, and I think it got some water in it. So I think we're gonna be all right. All right, so I'm just gonna, rather than try to scoop it up here, I'm just gonna take it down here, and you're gonna fill it up to about there. Almost to the top. This stuff will settle as it gets watered. You don't want to fill it all the way up unless you've got like a bottom water thing going on, because otherwise the water is not going to stay. You know, in a water, all the stuff's going to flow over. It's kind of annoying. A lot annoying. Let me see how far this gets me. All right, so I got 6 of these. David math, 6, 5. Okay, and then we've got our plants. So it's real simple. You could poke them in. You could also do, all right, I'm gonna use a poker. We want to get all the way down, so this is in there. And you don't have to take off the tips or anything. Just leave them like that. I want that one. And that's it. So we're gonna hope that my little plan works, and by leaving them long, that we get some roots, and then also it's probably not going to work, but maybe we'll get some leaves coming down the bottom. But what I could do, all right, so here's what's going to happen. I'm looking at this now and I'm like, okay, David, what were you even thinking? So the leaf, because it's going to root from here, the tip cuttings will continue to leaf out at the top, but all these other ones they're gonna root and then have a leaf that comes out from the bottom. They're not going to leaf out here, so I'm not even going to pretend like that's going to happen. I don't know why I told you that. So you do want to leave a little piece of it sticking up. I'm going to keep the smaller ones and I'm going to use them for something else. If that makes you feel better, just know nobody's perfect. I totally screwed the pooch. So it needs to look like that. So these stems, usually the leaf is going to come up, cover it up, and then you can cut it back once it grows in. But we've got a good amount of roots down there, and that was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. So it's gonna be 5 per. Okay, so bottom is towards me. It's way too long. All right, time's sake. Some of these, I don't know what I was doing here. Hook it in. Hook it in. Put 6 in this one. I'm being picky. This one's got a curve on it. It's kind of hard to get in there. This one's going to be a smaller one. Oh, somebody's checking in. How did I do reading the comments? How did I do? Crystal's making sure that I've done what I said I would do. I said, "Don't worry, I got it. I'll do the thing. I'll do my best." And I think I did okay. I probably missed a few. Okay, so if you notice, I did leave this. So this is a tip cutting. I'm not going to cut that. That one pretty much guaranteed the root. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I say pretty much because there's always like times that it won't. Where is Crystal? Crystal was not able to make the live today. We have some changes in scheduling and we're trying to figure our life out right now. I wonder if that one actually is going to stay. I'm going to leave that one there. So you guys only got me. I hope it was okay. It's definitely not easy. I don't know if anybody's ever tried to do a live, but I'll be real, like doing it by yourself. Like, I guess I've gotten a little better at talking to the little box here, but then trying to watch the comments and stuff. Like, oh man, so difficult. All right. So one, two, three, four, five. So this is like monotonous here. This one had a big root on it, so I'm gonna like shove that in there. One, two. So basically, I'm gonna keep doing this until I get these all taken care of, and then I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna water them in a little more, and then they're gonna go into the growing area, and I am going to do really, really good to get these guys happy. So secrets to this is a pothos. They're like super easy to propagate. So if you've got some plants, and this is a Cebu Blue, so it's a little different. But if you got pothos plants and they're hanging around and maybe they don't look as good as they once did, which they're known to do, then this is a way that you can, if you're trying to get some side money, you could propagate some and uh, make propagations, or if you want to make gifts for your friends, things like that. It's an easy way to share. Or there's different places that have like shared plants sites and things like that. So I left this one. This is a tip cutting. I left that intact as well because this will leaf out. I had originally like set these up to where there was like a tip cutting in most. Like I had like obviously like 4 or 5 tips, but then I didn't do a good job of keeping track of that. So I don't know where they went. So yeah, I'm gonna be over here for the next while. Crystal's making dinner. I can smell it. It smells good. And I'm gonna just keep doing this because we we got a lot of plants that need to be propagated, and we want to do uh, want to make this market best we can. And so the way that works is we got to have a lot of work up front. Oh man. And I'm having trouble here. I don't know what I'm doing. So I got this air root, and I was trying to like put it in there, and it does. I really shouldn't be fussing with that with all these cuttings. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. Let's see here. This one is like not as I'm not as confident in this one. We've gotten down to like just the cuttings now, and so we're gonna give this one some extra ones. This one got 7. All right, still got more. So I'm gonna set these aside. Yeah, what's for dinner over here? It is dinner time. We're at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So if you just tuned in, just know we go live every Tuesday, 5 o'clock Hawaii Standard Time, which equals 8 o'clock somewhere. Does it equal 7 o'clock somewhere else? What are you using for? Yeah, this would be like that's a bad joke. It is actually. So I usually just use whatever's laying around. So this is actually a rake from the little mini garden kits that you get. I don't have the little shovels. So we use the shovels in like when we're building terrariums because there's like these little cute little shovels. But this is the rake that comes with it. It comes with a long pointy shovel, a fat like wide shovel, and then like a rake. And anyways, the rake serves no purpose in that, but the backside does really good for poking in soil, tamping down things. So that's what this has now been relegated to. It is the soil poker that used to be the feng shui little terrarium, or like what do you call that? Little sand garden. You'd rake, and anyways, that's what this is. That's funny. Yeah, so I I will I do have some people that sent me a whole bunch of tools that were weird, and they said, "Hey, what are these used for?" And so it was a really good idea, and I know that we will be making doing a video on like different tools and what they're used for in gardening and in care of plants, because there's all these specialty tools and gadgets. But I usually don't plan so well. So by the time I need the tool, I'm already doing the thing. And so I generally just use whatever I have laying around. So then I get to show you like how to not use things, but get away with using something you might already have. Sorry, get away with using something you might already have just laying around. So you can't see it, but to make the soil that's down here, because it's a little compacted. So in order to loosen it up, I'm using the back of my great value dust broom that we usually use for the tabletop. So you can't see that, but that's what I'm doing down here. And it's working really good. Ooh, that's trouble. All right, let me get this. We're about out of time. If anybody wants to hang around for a few more minutes, this is just what I'm doing. I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. That's the not fun part of when you got a lot of plants and you're really trying to kind of do some things. So just imagine like a nursery, and then like they literally just have people that do this, and this is all they do. And they probably got a way cooler setup than I do, and they've got all the cool tools. A bin that the soil's in, so they're not having to lean over so many times. But yeah, this is the good stuff right here. Okay, so now I got 6 more, and I'm gonna keep going. Let's see. So, what did you guys have dinner? Everybody had dinner already? Where you're at? Because I know we haven't. Um, and I did. Crystal never got back on and said, "What's for dinner?" I have zero idea. I don't know. I'm very glad that she made sure to take care of that, because that was not on my radar today. That dinner part. I So with like the tools and things like that, or anything really, it's like, okay, I'm actually doing a little better. I got more time on my hands, but usually this is like, okay, what am I doing? Oh shucks, I don't have that. I'm out of time. We didn't eat. I didn't feed the kids. Kids, it's pizza. We're having pizza. It's like every night. Okay, we got, ooh, yeah. So we did get mango from our friend. So I'm excited about that. Um, it's a it's like a hybrid Hayden, Megan, Megan, mango. I'm gonna put a little extra that we got from them, and then what else we having? Onion rings. Nice. Well, I worked up an appetite over here, working hard at the bar, cutting these little plants. It's a lot of work. Um, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. It's 10 p.m. and it's probably pretty late where everybody else is. So I just obviously have a little bit of work to do. And generally I'd stop and then I screw up and I forget about it. And then I come like days later and I'm like, oh, I never like finished what I was working on. And now this stuff's all not excited. So I'm gonna do a better job. I'm just gonna keep at it. But want to thank everybody for watching, for hanging out with me while we cut up that Cebu Blue pothos, and we'll check back in on these in a few weeks and see if we've got leaves and see if we're going to be ready for that market. So fingers crossed. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm David with the Plant Bar. If you didn't already, or if you're watching this back and you haven't, please like this video and subscribe to our channel, Plant Bar. Appreciate everybody. I'm going to come around and turn it off because that's what I got to do. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. It's top secret over here. I'm like going behind the scenes. All right, bye guys.